Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Stefani Dewi Rosaria, along with my partner, Miss Rati Riana and Miss Shinta Pratiwi, would like to present about language politeness of Semarang University students in organizational activities. Okay, in the first slide, I would like to share our outline. First, I would like to tell you the background or the introductions, and then we move to literary review and the method. After the method, I would like to tell you about the result and the discussion, and the final is sharing about the conclusion. Shall we begin? The background of this study. There are 5 backgrounds that we want to share to you. First of all, politeness has the rules. And in the organizational activities, students are less strict in using language politeness. The second background is the social background of the students affects the politeness of speech acts in the organization. The next background, students assume that speaking among students in organization doesn't need to pay attention to language politeness. It is based on their opinion that they share the discussion with their own friends, so that they have less or they lack to pay attention to the language politeness. Furthermore, students are less than optimal in understanding the principles of language politeness in organizations to maintain social and psychological balance with their speech partners. And the last background of our study, student language politeness in organization has not been implemented optimally. Those are the 5 backgrounds that become our reason to do this research. And the purpose of this study is to analyze the language politeness used by Semarang University students in organizational activities. Why we choose a student who join the students' organization? Because we assume that in organizational activities, they will use the standardized language or the formal language. And the literary review used in the study, first of all, it is proposed in Wicaksana that reflects the use of language politeness systematically, orderly, clearly, and straightforward will reflect the personality or virtuous speaker. So the use of sarcasm, blaspheming, cursing, mocking, or harassing creates an image of an ungrateful person. The second one, Mosley said that politeness is a rule of behavior that is set and agreed upon by the society, so that politeness is also a prerequisite agreed upon by social behavior. The third one, politeness always has 2 poles, such as politeness between children and parents, or between hosts and guests, between men and women, between teachers, students, and between students and lecturers. The last literary review that we want to use in this study proposed by Prayitno, the principle of language politeness is a rule of communication to maintain social, psychological balance and friendliness of the relationship between the speaker and the addressee. And this study is a qualitative study with descriptive analysis, which aims to analyze politeness used by students of Semarang University in organizational activities. And the data is speech or language used by the student who join the student organization at the time of discussion. We collect the data through observation, note-taking, questionnaire completion, and also interview. And the techniques of data collection is observing and also recording. Observing means that we observe the respondent who are speaking, and also we record the students' conversations during discussion, and then we analyze the speech. Here, we want to present our result and discussion. First, the analysis of student language politeness in interacting in organizing. The finding of this study indicates that most of the students in their speech act have met the norms of politeness. So the use of expressions mohon maaf and then izin, it is included to honorific expressions. So it has an effect of politeness in greeting, and it shows that the person have a polite attitude in a verbal language. And from the questionnaire, we find out that 49.6% of students strongly agree, and then 37.5% of students agree, and then 12.4% students do not agree with the use of language politeness in organizational activities. So most of the students actually strongly agree that in organizational activities, even though they do interaction or they do discussion with their own friends, they keep or maintain the language politeness. And then from the interview, we found out that during discussion, students usually more relaxed by using informal language, but it is still, it also still use polite language. And politeness is indicated by the use of honorific terms such as mas or kakak. And during breaks, students sometimes use Japanese to be more flexible. The reason students use polite language in organization, not looking at the image, but for the sake of polite language, is the right step to establish harmony and to take care not to offend each other. And students can still maintain politeness in discussion. Those are the result of our interview. So here are the conclusions. First, politeness of speech act in interaction among students in organizational activities at the Semarang University has been implemented. And the result of questionnaire analysis of politeness in speaking used by the students in organization shows that 49.6% of students strongly agree to use polite language, and 37.5% of students agree to use polite language. Unfortunately, only 12.4% do not agree with the use of language politeness in organizational activities. So from the result of the study, we conclude that most of the students have applied the rules of speech act politeness in discussion. Thank you so much for the attention. That's all for the discussion. So if you have any questions, we would like to answer it. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen.